Hello and welcome to another episode of AGEUcational. This is our fourth episode of our mini-series, Caregiver Happiness. We are welcoming Charisma back. Charisma, thank you so much for coming back and for your time and doing this. This has been fabulous. You know, we started out talking about why we want to, why pursue your happiness, who we are. You know, we wrote down because sometimes we get lost in the role in which we are in right now. So we talked about who you are. We've talked about setting some goals. And then last week we talked about visualization. So today we're going to talk about making our dreams a reality, how we can make them come true. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, thank you. So we are back for our final week. I hope we've learned some things. We've done pretty deep. We've done some visualization. We wrote down some goals, some dreams, and we've done the gratitude journal. So if that's
Yes.
something you like, hopefully you've continued on with that. I find that if I do the gratitude journal in the morning, it makes me happy. Some days I miss it, but I try to catch up where I can, but just throwing those things in there some days, even if it's two, three times a week, excuse me, can make a big, big difference.
Yes, yes.
So,
And we all have stuff. Even we have bad seasons in life, but there's still usually something that we can look around and be grateful for. So that's something,
right.
I would challenge everyone to be able to continue on. Is let's just be thankful because there's always somebody that is a lot worse off. If we've got our health, our relationships, we've really got it all. The other stuff is pretty trivial.
Yes, I agree. So that was your homework. We looked at some things to dream and be grateful for. And you probably started doing that homework and you were grateful and you were going through. And then you got to day two or three and something happened. Something out of the ordinary. You may have had to rush to the hospital, a bad visit with the doctor, a new diagnosis. You thought you picked up this medication, you forgot to pick up the medication. The news came out with something else on COVID. It was just something. And you said, this lady is crazy. I don't have time for this. I don't have time to write down a gratitude journal and write something down every day. I don't have time for that. What difference is that making? But you do. You do have time. And you should, because it doesn't take long when you jot that down, because now your stress level is back up, your blood pressure and your heart rate are back up. You're stressed, you're overwhelmed, because see, that was just a dream, right? It's just a dream, and a dream is just a dream, and now you have real life stuff to do, and you don't have time to dream. But the problem is that we as humans, we look at things in these large chunks. We look at big picture. We have to break things down though, because our mind doesn't take in things in that larger picture as much. I don't think the doctors, when they go to medical school, or the attorneys, when they go to law school, they think about, man, I got to do 12th grade, and then I got to do these 4 years. And then let me add these other 4 years. Oh, and then I have to do these 4 years of residency. Because if somebody thought about the fact that they have to do 20 years, they would never start.
Right. Exactly.
You would never,
Yikes.
Right.
you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
No. Throw in the
Because for
towel.
us that may have wanted to be doctors, it was probably those extra 10 years that no, I'm not doing that. But for the ones that went to law school, they say, okay, well, I'll just get my bachelor's degree. Let me just do these 4 years. Okay, now let me go to the next step and get that degree. Okay, let me do these
Right.
couple of years. Okay, now I'm done with that. So let me go to the next step and do that. Because your mind, to really take it in, you have to break it all down. You have to break it down to simplest form.
I like that.
When I talk to my caregivers, a lot of times they're like, I just want a weekend. I don't want to lie. I just want a weekend. Can I just go to the mountains for a weekend? Can I go on a girls or a guys trip? Can I go fishing for a weekend? And that seems so unreal. it just feels like, oh my gosh, the idea of going somewhere for a weekend, I don't have anybody to take care, of mom, and I don't know about the medications, and it's just so, never mind, forget it. I just won't do anything.
Yeah. Throw your hands up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot, especially with my caregivers. It's just, oh no, Charisma, that's not possible. I no, I can't do that. That we were just writing that down. That wasn't for real. But it was, because it's your dream. And that's why I had you write dreams, but I also had you write goals.
Okay.
Because goals are achievable. And one of the things we do is we break them down into SMART goals. We make them measurable. We make them obtainable. But then we also have dreams, and we can continue to dream. So let's start a little bit smaller. Maybe we're not going away for the weekend. Maybe we're not going on that fishing trip. Let's just start with a hot shower or a bubble bath.
Right.
How many times do we just want, I just need 30 minutes to an hour to take an uninterrupted bubble bath. How do I get that done?
Yeah.
Something that small. So what we do is we go through it. Our goal is a bubble bath. Very, very small goal for a person that's not a caregiver. They're like, what do you mean your goal is a bubble bath? They're listening to us. Oops. My apologies.
They were listening to you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I thought it was on Do Not Disturb. But they're listening to us and they're like, a bubble bath, but no, that's major. A hot shower, a bubble bath, that's major. So how do we get to that point that we'll have that hour? Because we're thinking about the what ifs. I may go in there and then mom may fall. She may slip on the rug. Oh, she may go unlock the door and get out the house. Oh my gosh. What if she messes something up? Man, what if she goes in the refrigerator and takes out something she doesn't need to have and she's snacking? Oh my gosh. What if she has to go to the bathroom? All of these things are reality. And then we're like, you know what? Nope, I'm just going to jump in and jump out a quick 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, don't do that, because we still want to take this bubble bath. Don't give up on your goals so easily. We have to be committed.
You need the finger.
You have to commit.
I was just thinking that the other day that the 5 minutes that I jump into a shower, that's when the phone rings off the hook and people are knocking at the door trying to get in. I'm like, there are 23 hours and 23 and 3/4 other hours in this day, and everything has to happen within this one 15-minute time period.
Yeah. And it happens. But you have to change your mindset. You have to change the way you think about things. You have to say, I am going to take this bubble bath. I am committed to taking this bubble bath. It is going to happen. So now we need to break down what we need to do. We first have to commit to it. When is the best time of day to take the bubble bath? Maybe mom gets up at night. She has sundowners. Yes, she's on Respiridol. She's on, she's on everything for sleep. We have the Trazodone. It doesn't matter what we give mom. We gave her Seroquel. She's not sleeping at night.
No.
It's not happening. At 10 o'clock p.m., mom turned on the old school radio with the turntable. She's listening to music. Well, we can't do the bubble bath then.
No.
But we know that at 10 a.m., mom is knocked out. She is going to sleep. Now, 10 a.m. may not be the average time people do a bubble bath, but we're not really average people.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We don't live those lives. So maybe 10 a.m. is the perfect time to do the bubble bath. So first find that day and time and stick to that. Know that that's when you're going to do it. So, mom gets up every night. We'll let her get up. We're going to have a good time. We're going to go in the living room and we're going to dance to whatever, the Bee Gees, Al Green, whatever it is. We're just going to have a good time with mom that night, because we know that once mom is knocked out, we're taking our bubble bath. So the next thing, we have to put the precautions in place. So, of course, typically mom will be asleep. But let's go ahead and put these precautions in place. So we want to make sure about the safety. I always tell people, if you have a parent or a child that gets up at night, put a bed alarm on their bed so that when they get up, you'll hear it. So you'll hear it going off. So you're not always getting up looking, oh, is she up? Oh, I thought I heard it. No, that was the cat. Oh, was that her that time?
Right.
So do that. For me, I do the Alexa, the one with the video. You can do Alexa, and you can call them, and you can see them as well. Oh. So I'll say, Alexa, let me see such and such room. So I can see them through the video. Or you could do a baby monitor so you can hear them. So you can still take that bubble bath, put that monitor in there, and the only way you'll have to get up is if there's an emergency or something of that nature. But now you've created those things that make you feel a little bit more comfortable about this, and think about what worked in the past. When she gets up, like if you have a child, when they get up, if they do well with the tablet, no, we don't always want to give them the tablet. But you know what? This one time, I'm going to sit that tablet next to their bed.
Right, exactly.
Look here.
Yeah. If they get up, they can grab the tablet because this is my 1 hour that I'm taking. So I've had patients that, I've had patients that, they worked in, they were a nurse for a living. So they like to call out orders and write things down. So I would give them a tablet. I have one, she was a housekeeper. So what I would do with her, they said, oh, she's always pulling the towels and the washcloths down. She's always pulling them down. I said, well, give her 4 of them. Give her 4 washcloths. So she had the 4 washcloths. She had a little bag that we kept on her wheelchair. Yep. And she would take her washcloths, fold them up neatly, and then we put them back in the bag. Yep. And then she'd take her washcloths, and then she was fine. Oh, Miss Charisma, we need to give her medicine. No, we don't. We just need to give her some washcloths.
Yeah.
So I would ask the family, what does she do? And this is how I work with my clients. And that's why I tell people, I'm not just a coach. I'm a nurse practitioner. I've been doing this for years. Yeah. So I think about these things. Fine, if they were a carpenter, maybe we don't want to give them a hammer. But, some of them are so sharp that they keep these skills because they did them so long. Right. You get them some wood glue, and something else, and just keep them occupied. You'll be amazed.
Yeah, I had a story of it was a guy that, actually he was in a facility, but for a long time they fought him off. He would come in there and say, it's time for me to go to work. He'd be agitated, I'm running late, and they would basically shoo him away and not, I guess, just not go with the flow with whatever he was thinking. And so somebody finally had a good idea. So what they did is they got a briefcase and a little hat and put it in the nurse's station. So when he came in there, it's time for me to go work, they gave him the hat and the briefcase. He picked it up and he would take off and he would walk around, make 3 or 4 laps around the building inside, of course. But, then he was home and got it out of his system.
Finished with work.
Yep. Yeah.
Quitting time.
Yep.
But you have to think about it. Most people work at their jobs or at least doing their occupation 20, 30, 40 years.
Right.
And then they get older and you just took their occupation away from them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I always ask my families when they say, oh, mom won't do this, dad won't do that, my husband won't do this. What did they do during the day? What was their hobby? What kind of work did they do? Give them what, as long as it's safe, give them whatever they did. Yep. And you'd be amazed. Had a patient that used to sew up clothes, worked in one of the factories sewing things up. So we just got her a knitting set, got her some yarn. Yarn is inexpensive. You get some yarn, the little crochet needles, and she would just go to work. Every time I saw her, she would have something new made.
Right.
Wow. I might have brought her some pants I needed him.
Right.
I am not a sewer.
Right.
Yeah.
But those little tidbits of information, those are the things that are going to buy us some time.
Right.
So once we do that, we got that baby monitor, we do the bed alarm, we, put on their favorite show. I think 10 o'clock Price is Right comes on. If you can't get a shot, if you can't get a shower or a bath during Price is Right,
Right. Yeah.
when I tell you, it doesn't matter what patient I visit at 10 o'clock when Price is Right is on, that TV is on Price is Right.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
So, those different things, do it when they're at bed. If your loved one gets therapy, you don't have to be at every therapy session. And I think that's one of those things we don't think about, is that therapist is trained. Maybe the first couple of therapy sessions, but after that, when they come see my son for therapy, I'm going on a walk.
Right.
Let me take this time to go on a walk. And if you need me, call me.
Right.
Because you can get in touch with me, because you're a professional. You went to school for this. You have to be first aid certified, CPR certified. That's an hour of therapy that is already being paid for.
Right.
That should be time for me.
Exactly.
Whether I'm walking, meditating, bath, shower, talking, communicating, whatever. So utilize those things. So once we utilize those things, voila, bubble bath. We've anticipated the needs.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. The preparation.
Yeah.
Covered your bases.
All of those, all of those different things. And now we can accomplish it. Did it take us a little longer? We can't just jump in like everyone else. No. But once we can think it through and we can prepare ourselves, then we can do those things. And then we can work up to those bigger things. So we can, I brainstorm with you. I work through these things with you. What can we do? Because everyone's situation isn't the same.
Yes.
So what can we do to make sure that we can get this time for ourselves? Because as we talked about in the beginning, it's not just about happiness. It's about happiness. It's about your health. It's, it's about just you as a person, making sure that you're going to be okay,
Right.
decreasing that risk for Alzheimer's, decreasing your blood pressure, your heart rate, maybe you're diabetic as well. We need to make sure that you're taking time out to eat properly and do those things for yourself. So this is a big picture thing. It's not just, just be happy. Charisma just said be happy. No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not just be happy. It's so much more. So, it's taking the bubble bath. It's reading over that gratitude journal while you're sitting in the tub. It's listening to those rain sounds on your soundtrack. All of those different things. It's doing some of that visualization that we talked about earlier. And we can do this with the small things. We can do it with the goals. We can do it with the dreams.
Yeah.
We just have to put the things in place so that we can dream, so we can think bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. And the first part of that is that thinking about it, in order to achieve it, we have to think about it, set out those steps. And I like also that you said about the little things. We went for a walk the other morning. It was a little crisp, but there was just a smell in the air, and I was just telling Terry, I said, how lucky are we to be able to walk and just smell that freshness and that crispness, like being a kid again. It was amazing. It was small, but it was still, something that we could take joy in.
Invigorating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you start somewhere and you build up. I know we have some bigger goals and some bigger dreams that we want to accomplish, but we just take those small steps.
Yeah.
So one step at a time, and we'll get there.
Yep. There used to be an old saying or an old question is like, how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time.
Yeah.
When you run a marathon, you have to put one step in, one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. So that's the way that we can accomplish all, whatever we want to accomplish, whatever those goals and dreams that we have. I think, this has been a great series, not only for caregivers, but for just people in general. I mean, we know, why is our happiness important to us? And part of that is that self-realization, who are we? And then who are we and what do we want? Setting those goals and then visualizing them. We talked about you can't get to the end of the journey if you can't visualize how you're going to get there. We've set out some steps to do it. And then also, just that finalization of realizing our dream and how rewarding it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, the last thing is just to make sure you have someone that keeps you accountable,
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we do kind of give up on these bigger things and,
Yeah.
we're like, just forget it. I'm not going to try it. But, just having that accountability, someone that you can talk to
Yeah.
and you can say, and they'll say, oh, well, we can try it again. We could try it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it's very important, and we can all reach out, find somebody, to be that accountability partner. Makes a big difference. I'm thankful for Terry in my life because she helps me, when things are looking bad and I'm like, I can't go on. She's like, it's all right. We're going to, we had a piece of equipment problem the other day and it was like, oh, yeah. I mean, it was kind of bad for a couple hours, but she was able to kind of talk me down off the ledge and say, hey, we're going to get this. Let's step outside with the dogs for a little bit, take a walk, clear your head. And, sure enough, we came back and, things are better than they were before with this new piece of equipment. So,
and I didn't strangle anybody.
Right.
And nobody strangled me.
Having that partner to reach out to, and it kind of gets, there's a lot of things that all go together. That not feeling isolated. If you feel like there's somebody you can pick up that phone and reach out to, it makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Charisma. Well, thank you so much for this series. It's been awesome. Before we go, please tell everybody how can they reach out and get a hold of you.
I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Charisma's Care. Also on LinkedIn, and then my website is charismascare.com.
Okay. Yeah, and we will put all that contact information in the show notes as well, so y'all can reach out. You've also got a lot of great resources on your website too, so reach out, check out her website. It's important. We've got to take care of ourselves before we can take care of others. Can't drive that home enough. So our wellness as caregivers is it's vital, because you have to think about, if we run ourselves down and we're not around to take care of our loved ones, who's going to do that? So let's do all we can to improve our wellness and our health. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this first mini-series. I think it was great. We've got some good actionable items that we've been able to take away each week. So we're looking forward. Maybe we can talk Charisma to coming back and doing one more for us.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. You can find us, of course, at www.AGEUcational.com. We're on all the major social media platforms, and videos of these interviews will be up on our YouTube channel as well. So until next time, take care of yourself and take care of your loved ones.
Bye.